Chapter 167. Shui glanced in Xiangyi's direction. The boys who were munching on egg tarts were dumbfounded. Especially Jiang Chen, who had seen Xiangyi teach Sister Ling a lesson, was so shocked that his eyes widened. Isn't Sister valiant and strong? Who is this coquettish girl? Everyone heard a complete sentence. And in Xiang Qi's mind, two words were circulating endlessly. Brother. Brother. His slow brain finally reacted. Xiang Qi stood up and raised his voice. What did you call me? Xiangyi was a little helpless. If you don't like it, I won't call you that again. Perhaps from an outsider's point of view, the blood ties between family members couldn't be severed. However, it was often the most painful when family members complained about the harm done to them. In the past year, the person who had taken over her body had ruined her third brother's career. There was no doubt about that. A mistake was a mistake. No one had the right to forgive on behalf of her third brother. Looking at the girl who was as cautious as a frightened bird, Shui frowned deeply. He had seen Xiangyi in many different ways. She was bright and beautiful, gentle, confident, arrogant, willful, drunk, crying. But he had never seen her show such a timid and humble expression in front of anyone. The comments in the live stream surged. Am I hearing things? Why is she calling him brother? Didn't Sister Yi say in an interview that she was an only child? Does anyone know what Hades's Chinese name is? I have a bold guess. Haha, it's obvious that this is a premeditated script. Just a fake couple. Do they really think this is some kind of food show? Love and drama are the most interesting things to talk about in variety shows. Xiang Qi took a few deep breaths before he could adjust his heartbeat. Brother. He sneered. You still know that I'm your brother? Xiangyi whispered. I've always known. Humph. Xiangyi looked up. Brother, I was wrong. Sorry. She didn't know how to explain the matter of transmigration. After all, it sounded beyond the reasonable understanding of ordinary people. It was too much like a lie that she made up to find an excuse. Therefore, Xiangyi decided to explain later when she had the chance. Now, she just hoped that her brother wouldn't be angry anymore. Although third brother was childish. Immature, he was really good. He would make her dresses, read her poems, teach her how to dance, and make up fairy tales under the moonlight. When inspiration struck, he would draw stacks of manuscripts and paste them all over the walls and windows. Then he would pull her and show them off crazily. Third brother had a sharper and more sensitive personality than ordinary people. He was also more easily affected by emotions than ordinary people. When he was angry, it was very difficult for him to have design inspiration. Xiang Qi stared at her. The corners of the girl's eyes were red. She felt wronged and weak, and her eyes were filled with tears. The look in his eyes was different. In the beginning, Xiang Qi had only suspected that his sister had been possessed by something strange, or that she had split into two personalities. But now, he was 100% sure that the sister he had met in the past year wasn't his sister at all. He said fiercely, Do you think I'll forgive you just because you say sorry, you make some delicious food, and you call me brother? Xiangyi shrank back. Her starry eyes dimmed as she sniffed. Oh! The next second, she heard her brother roar loudly and decisively. I will! Chapter 168. The living room was so quiet that only the faint sound of the live stream equipment could be heard. Xiangyi raised her head and stared blankly at Xiang Qi. After Xiang Qi finished yelling, he realized in hindsight that he was embarrassed. His ears burned and he ground his teeth. He felt a sense of humiliation turning into anger. But when he met his sister's clear eyes, his anger instantly dissipated. He grabbed the girl's soft hand and shoved the corner of his shirt at her domineeringly. Xiang Yi's face was filled with confusion. Xiang Qi said fiercely, Hurry up and call me big brother. Don't you know how to coax me when I'm angry? In the live stream, the viewers who saw this scene were dumbfounded. Why was this plot completely different from what they had expected? This. This plot doesn't play by the rules. Ah, Hades is too cute. He's devilish on the outside but arrogant on the inside. I love him. The interaction between these two is too confusing. They don't look like a couple. What's their relationship? Those who say our sister E is sucking up to Hades, open your eyes and see clearly who's sucking up to whom. Hades was clearly the one who made sister E an apron and a hair tie first. Xiangyi's emotions were complicated. She gripped the corner of her brother's shirt tightly. Her voice tinged with a slight sob. You don't blame me anymore. The C7 boys didn't know what she meant, but Sure Sui and Roman did. Especially Roman. He had witnessed the birth of Hades's genius creations, and had also witnessed them being devoured and destroyed by the flames. How could he forgive her so easily? But, thinking of that delicious egg tart just now, Roman felt that he could forgive her just a little bit. Of course, this woman would have to make up for it with sincere remorse and practical actions in the future. I know it wasn't you, Xiangqi said in a voice that only the two of them could hear. Xiangyi froze. She thought that even if she explained, her brother wouldn't believe her. However, she didn't expect that before she could even explain, her brother had already seen through the truth and chose to trust her. Seeing that his sister's eyes were as red as a rabbit's, as if she couldn't even hold back her tears, Xiangqi resumed his fierce tone. Idiot, don't you even know how to act cute? Do you need me to teach you step by step? Xiangyi. Okay. Xiangqi. Alright, I'll show you. He pinched his throat and imitated the shy tone of a little girl. Big brother is the best in the world. Brother is the most handsome man in the world. C7's little brothers. Where was the arrogant and cold senior Hades from this morning? The audience in the livestream room. Hades, I'm just kidding myself. I want to see Sister E act coquettishly. I've already started recording. Sure enough, when a man acts spoiled, women have nothing to do with him. Xiangyi blinked her eyes, which seemed to be filled with moonlight, gentle and clear. She tugged at the corner of her brother's shirt and said softly, Big brother, you're the best. Whoosh, bang. Xiangqi's world began to explode with fireworks. My sister is indeed the cutest in the world. I've always been the best. Rubbing his sister's little head with his large palm, he was suddenly filled with inspiration. He turned around and picked up a pen and paper before kneeling on the ground and drawing. The comments in the live stream room were full of speculation. Is Hades going to design an apron again? Ha ha ha. Roman leaned over to take a look and immediately blocked the camera, tears of excitement gushing out of his eyes. A work of art. This was a real work of art. Chapter 169. Everyone knew that inspiration was not easy to come by, let alone a world-class designer like Xiangqi. Everyone tacitly chose to remain silent, and even the comments in the live stream had decreased significantly. Shoo! Let's not disturb Hades. And Jing, don't whisper. Super quiet. This is so immersive, I'm getting nervous. It's been a year. Can Hades come up with a new design? Xiangqi had a strong foundation in art. With just a few strokes, he sketched out a set of clothes. He casually tossed the draft paper aside and continued with the next one. The inspiration that had dried up for a long time seemed to be inexhaustible at this moment. Countless wonderful ideas were constantly surging out. Li Jianyu asked the cameraman to change the angle so that he could capture everyone in the living room without capturing Xiangqi's manuscript. The C7 members covered their mouths one by one, not even daring to breathe. Xiangyi was also very nervous, but Sure Sui was the calmest. She stuffed a soft pillow into her hand, which the little girl hugged tightly. Looking at the exquisite design drafts, tears began to fall from her eyes. This was a miracle. No, it was a miracle. At this moment, the muse of art kissed Xiangqi's fingertips, and the banshee of the deep sea prostrated herself at his feet, wholeheartedly submitting to him as she played the sounds of nature for him. This process could be described as slow, but it could also be described as fast. About 20 minutes later, Xiangqi threw away his pen and lay on the ground, exhaling deeply. His brain was in pain, but his mind was extremely excited. Xiangyi hurriedly threw away the pillow and knelt beside him, massaging his temples and the space between his eyebrows. With her professional massage technique, Xiangqi felt his headache ease a lot, followed by a deep exhaustion. He rubbed his head against the girl's palm and coquettishly said, "Remember to make me stir-fried pig intestines with hot peppers. I also want pudding and—" Before he could finish his sentence, his thick eyelashes drooped and he fell into a deep sleep. Xiangyi, in the live stream. He fell asleep just like that? Amazing. Why does he still remember pig intestines? I'm dying of laughter. Actually, I can understand. It's really tiring to use your brain too much. Who can stand the coquettish Hades? Sister E, please satisfy him. Roman quickly sorted out Xiangqi's manuscripts, and then habitually took out a blanket, covered the man, and carefully tucked him in. Not to mention the ground in order to find inspiration, a certain someone had even slept in a tree. Don't worry, everyone. You can talk and laugh as you wish. It won't affect Hades. He won't wake up even if there's thunder or an earthquake. Roman bowed. Now that I have the design drafts, there are still a lot of things to do. I'll take my leave first. Li Jianyu arranged for the staff to send him off. The live broadcast continued. As Roman had said, Xiangqi slept like a log. It was drizzling outside, so it wasn't suitable for filming outside. Fortunately, the production team had already prepared a backup plan for the guests to play games in the living room. Before the game begins, please write down a punishment plan. Whoever loses will draw lots later. In the live comments, "Ha ha ha ha, the production team is too good," Xiangyi casually wrote down a nursery rhyme. She was a little curious about what Shi Sui had written next to her. Nudging his elbow, she asked, "What did you write?" Shi Sui chuckled and directly showed her the note. On it were 2 words written in bold strokes. Vinegar. The 2 of us are too cruel. Xiangyi sighed. Little did she know that the boys from C7 were going crazy. Chapter 170. The camera zoomed in on everyone's notes, allowing the audience to see what each person had written. Shi Sui. Jealous. Xiangyi. Singing nursery rhymes. Live comments. These 2 have the same style. Elementary school level punishment. However, it was different when it came to the C7 boys. Shinci. Girl group dance. Jiang Chen. Take ugly photos and post them on Weibo. Live comments. Haha, it's obvious that these boys have cheated each other a lot. Chen Zai. Mommy really wants to tell you through the screen that you can lose this game too. WTF, WTF, Akai's writing is too cruel. Staying in a confined space to listen to ghost stories. That's too scary. After collecting everyone's paper slips, Li Jianyu smiled and announced the game's content. This game is called All Villains. In each round, there will be a princess, 2 killers, and a knight. The rest of the people will be civilians. The killers must kill the princess or survive to the last round to win. The knight needs to protect the princess. You can vote in each round. If all the killers are voted out, the princess will win. Jiang Chen raised his hand. What about the civilians? Do they protect the princess? Li Jianyu. Who said civilians must protect the princess? They can also protect the killers. The guests. Live comments. Fine, the program team really knows how to play. In other words, civilians can be good or bad. Shinci rubbed his chin. So every round is a free-for-all. That's interesting. Li Jianyu took out the cards prepared by the program team. Let's try it out first. There's no punishment for this round. After 1 round, everyone understood the rules. Okay, then the loser will have to accept the punishment. Li Jianyu grinned, looking like he was enjoying the show. After drawing the cards, the cameraman took a close-up of each person's card. Xiangyi had drawn the princess, Jiang Chen and Shen Xiai had drawn the killers, and the knight card was in Shi Sui's hand. The first round began. I'm a good person. Jiang Chen was obviously not good at lying. It took him a long time to say, "Really, you guys have to believe me." The younger brothers said, "Of course we believe you." Then they all voted for Jiang Chen. In the live stream, "I'm so angry I'm trembling in the cold. This little lousy group has no team spirit. Pure teasing, don't argue, you're right." Zai Chen rubbed his head. "Mommy knew you were an idiot. Such a dangerous game is not suitable for you." In comparison, Shen Xiai is so calm. He even voted for Jiang Chen. "Go Xiai Zai. Kill Princess Duck." Xiangyi relied on her strong mental fortitude to survive 2 more rounds. However, she had never played this type of game before. She was clearly on the right side, but she was suspected of being the villain. Shen Xiai had a rough idea of what was going on. He said, "Sister, you're the killer, aren't you? Everyone follow me and vote for her." Everyone voted. Shi Sui was the only one who hadn't voted yet. Shen Xiai urged, "Senior Shi, hurry up and vote." Shi Sui pushed his glasses and looked at Xiangyi with gentle eyes. "Aren't you going to beg me?" His deep and mellow voice was both sultry and seductive. Xiangyi muttered softly, "But you only have 1 vote. The same no matter who you vote for." "That's true." Shi Sui chuckled. "Since we can't live together, let's die together." With that, he casually pointed at someone looking lazy. "Game over. The killer wins. The princess and the knights have been eliminated. Next, please draw the game's punishment." Chapter 171. Li Jianyu announced the results of the game, sounding a little smug. He hadn't expected to see Daddy Shi fail in his lifetime. How satisfying. He secretly flipped through the punishment slips. Girl group dance, ugly photos, and posting them on Weibo were nothing. The most ruthless punishment was to wear women's clothing. Imagining Daddy Shi in women's clothing, Li Jianyu couldn't help but laugh out loud. The comment section of the live stream was also filled with laughter. "Director, you're laughing too loudly. This director is really poisonous. I can't help but laugh when he laughs. I'm looking forward to seeing what punishment Shi Yingdi will get. I must be a fake fan." Shi Sui was the first to draw a card, the corners of her mouth twitching slightly. Xiangyi also drew a card, and her eyes widened after reading it. "Is this even possible? Teachers, please show us what you've drawn." The camera panned over. Xiangyi had drawn a ghost story in a confined space, while Shi Sui lived up to expectations and drew a girl group dance. Live comments. "Ha ha 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 ha, a refined and abstinent person like Shi Yingdi is going to dance a girl group dance? I bet this will be a trending topic. How do I dance a girl group dance?" Shi Sui asked helplessly. Shen Xiai. "Chen, show it to Senior Shi." The others followed suit. Yes, Chen, let's go. Let's welcome our dance director, Chen Chenzi." Jiang Chen had a silly look on his face. "Oh, okay." He obediently danced for a while. After all, he had a solid foundation in dancing, and even a girl group dance would look good. In the live stream, the fans of C7 were extremely satisfied. Our silly Chen Chenzi didn't even know he was cheated 2333. As expected of all villains, their little brothers are so entertaining. I'm Jiang Chen's fan now. He was so cold and expressionless in Heartbeat, which was boring. I didn't expect him to be so cute in Two Under One Roof. After watching the girl group dance, Shi Sui rubbed her forehead. "Can we swap?" "Xiangyi, I don't know how to dance either." Although she had a bunch of weird skills. "But girl group dancing. I'm sorry, this question is really out of my scope." Li Jianyu didn't mind the drama. "Since Sister E doesn't agree to change, then Father, do you want to choose the same one as Sister E? Listening to ghost stories in a confined space with Sister E. Wow!" The younger brothers began to whistle. However, there were polarized comments in the live stream. Ah, someone give the director a drumstick. Shocking. The director took the lead and started eating candies. Let's go. Is the program crew crazy? What if the vase fairy secretly takes advantage of Sher Ingdi? Isn't this disgusting? Why do they have to force a CP? Even if they're going to form a CP, they should at least form a CP of equal social status, okay? Movies, TV series, music. Which one of them could she bring out as a representative work? Well, so get lost. In reality, Sher Sui's eyelids drooped lazily. She looked indifferent, as if she didn't care about the punishment. He asked Xiangyi in a low voice. Can we? Xiangyi didn't think much of it. One person might be scared to listen to a ghost story, but two people might treat it as a joke. Aha, she answered softly. A group of young and playful brothers laughed and pushed the two of them into the utility room. They played the ghost story on the Bluetooth sound system before locking the door firmly. In the live stream, there were not as many fans of the untimely CP as Sher Sui's fans, but the comments instantly filled the entire screen. The ceremony is complete. Send them to the bridal chamber. He 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 he. Congratulations to the two newlyweds for having a baby soon. Untimely is locked. Chapter 172. Usually, the two of them wouldn't even make eye contact during the live stream, but at this moment, they were both locked in the utility room. The fans of the couple were overjoyed as if they were celebrating the new year, wishing they could set off 100,000 firecrackers. The only regret was that there was no image and they could only listen to the sound. The dimly lit utility room wasn't large to begin with, and with the addition of two people, it seemed even more cramped. The Bluetooth speaker was playing a ghost story. Late one night, the husband returned home only to find that his wife had disappeared. He said, "Honey, stop playing hide and seek with me, I see you." He yanked open the closet, but it was empty. However, when he looked at the window, there was a woman's face outside. Xiangyi walked past Sher Sui and fumbled around the wall to find the light switch. The two of them were already close to each other, and the faint scent of gardenias from her hair wafted to the tip of his nose. Sher Sui's Adam's apple bobbed slightly. "Have you changed your shampoo?" "No, I'm used to switching between bottles." Xiangyi answered gently. She happened to find the light switch and pressed it. The light bulb above her head sizzled and flickered, as if it would go out at any time. For some reason there was a hint of fear. However, the story continued on the speaker. The wife couldn't be found in the surveillance camera either. It was as if she had evaporated into thin air. Xiangyi said nonchalantly. The husband in this story may have been lying. Although we can't find a living person, that doesn't mean we can't find a dead one. Instead of worrying about ghosts, we might as well search the fridge and reservoir. The netizens in the live stream were dumbfounded. The next second, they heard Sher Sui's gentle voice. "In the movies I've seen before, there are people who hide corpses in the walls or wax figures." What movie? Think about it. F***CK. I feel a chill down my spine. Can the two of you respect this story? Where's the plot where I imagine Sister E throwing herself into Sher Sui's arms out of fear? In reality, the two of them talked about horror movies for a long time and completely ignored the ghost story that was playing on the stereo. Xiangyi was a little tired from standing. She pulled out an old chair and wanted to sit down. However, she didn't expect that it would cause a chain reaction. The pile of things on the table toppled over like dominoes. A warm hand grabbed her hat and pulled her to his side. "Be careful." "Thank you." After Xiangyi thanked him, she suddenly thought of something and asked nervously, "Did my ear fall off?" Sher Sui chuckled and raised his hand to pinch her two little ears. "Still here." "No, it's the rabbit ears my brother sewed for me. If I lose them, he'll be angry again." Xiangyi put on the hat and touched the top of her head. She was relieved when she found that the rabbit ears were still there. It seemed that her brother's sewing skills were still very good. Sher Sui's eyes were deep and dark. After putting on the furry hat, the girl's fair face seemed even more petite. One of her rabbit ears stood up while the other was half folded. He couldn't resist the urge and broke off the girl's other ear. Xiangyi wanted to avoid him, but after the debris fell, the space became even more cramped. Her back hit the wall and there was no way out. The girl protested softly. "Stop pinching." Shui, on the other hand, seemed to have found a new toy. He stuck the rabbit ears up and folded them back down, having a lot of fun. Xiangyi bit her lip. "Are you interested in me?" Shui paused in his actions. However, he heard the latter half of the girl's sentence. "Where's my coat?" She generously said. "Can I lend it to you?" Chapter 173. Shui didn't respond for a while and simply looked down at her with a half-smile. Afraid that he would misunderstand, Xiangyi explained, "It's not that I don't want to give you a new one, but there's only one of this in the world, so." This jacket was her brother's first piece for practice. She had been wearing it for a long time and treasured it so much that she couldn't bear to throw it away. "So you can't bear to part with it?" Shui's voice was languid, and there was a hint of abstinence in it after he deliberately lowered his voice. He raised his hand to adjust his loose tie, and his upturned peach blossom eyes widened into a smile. "It's okay, you can lend it to me." Xiangyi was a little surprised, but she quickly regained her composure, thinking to herself, "It seems that he really likes this jacket." It couldn't be helped. Her brother's designs were the best in the world. Who could resist? In the live stream, Shui, are you going to blink when you're threatened? The pretentious spirit is at it again, and it's the only one in the world. Blarg. Director, open the door, I want to see Shui in women's clothing. I'm greedy, I want to see Shui in women's clothing and dance in a girl group, ha 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 ha. Coincidentally, the story in the stereo had also ended. The door was opened. The naive boys began to jeer. "Sister, lend the jacket to Senior Shui." Xiangyi looked at Shui and confirmed with him again. "You really want to wear it? Huh? You're not going back on your word, are you?" Shui's thin lips curled into a teasing smile. Xiangyi took off her jacket and handed it to him. There was still some warmth left on the jacket, which was warm and vaguely ambiguous. Shui didn't feel embarrassed at all and calmly put on the girl's fluffy jacket. The jacket was a loose-fitting style, and on the tall and thin man except for the short sleeves it was surprisingly suitable. Li Jianyu, who was secretly laughing, suddenly couldn't laugh anymore. He thought that Daddy Shui would be embarrassed in women's clothing, but F***ck. Shui. Oh, it looks pretty good. He calmly put on his hat and put his hands in his pockets. His peach blossom eyes were filled with a seductive smile. "Thank you, Sister Yi, in the live stream. If you wear our Sister Yi's clothes, you'll be one of Sister Yi's people. Shuringdi is so manly. His shirt with bunny ears shark me. The jacket is so cute." Taobao used image recognition to search, but there really isn't a similar design. Is this some niche brand? For the rest of the game, Shui wore Xiangyi's jacket the whole time. He was so calm and natural that no one thought anything of it. Xiangyi was the only one who felt that something was wrong. After playing 2 rounds with everyone, she exited the game and went to the kitchen. Xiao Naofu circled around her feet and softly whined. "Meow meow, are you hungry?" Xiangyi touched its belly. It was still round. She felt helpless. "Xiao Naofu, did Jiang Chen and the others secretly feed you?" Xiao Naofu looked innocent. "Humph, those stinky little brothers want to hug me. Of course they have to pay the price. You'll get fat if you eat too much." Xiangyi tried to reason with it. Hearing this, the soft kitten lay down on the ground, revealing its white belly. It tilted its head and said in a childish voice, "Meow meow meow. Does sister not love me anymore? I only have sister in my heart. When I see you, I don't even want to blink." Xiangyi. You actually learned to act cute for a bite of food. Xiao Naofu, this trick. You can do more in the future. Chapter 174. After rubbing Xiao Naofu from head to toe, Xiangyi figured it was either hungry or gluttonous. She cut a small piece of fish into thin slices, roasted them, sprinkled some seasoning on them, and fed them to the kitten. The fresh fish was cooked at just the right temperature, and it tasted many times better than the snacks the stinky boys fed it. Xiao Naofu whimpered and ate with relish. After finishing the last few slices, the cat's round eyes turned. It picked up the fish slices and walked gracefully to Shi Sui with its short legs. Shi Sui and the others were still playing games in front of the coffee table. The kitten nudged Shi Sui with its head. After the other party gave it a puzzled look, it slowly ate the grilled fish slices. Jiang Chen, is Xiao Naofu eating the fish that you caught, senior? Xiao Naofu was even more proud. Hee, stinky man, I'll always be Yi's favorite. You're only worthy of fishing for me, meow. Shi Sui said calmly. Do you have a reliable pet hospital to recommend? Is Xiao Naofu sick? Jiang Chen asked nervously. It's not sick, Shi Sui smiled. I just want to know what to pay attention to before a kitten is sterilized. Xiao Naofu, sigma, degree. F CKU. Jiang Chen. But Xiao Naofu doesn't even have a girlfriend yet. Sterilizing it will deprive it of its happiness. Bullet comments. Chen Zai, I suspect you're cheating and I have sufficient evidence. Shi Sui. Losing something after getting it is the most painful. The boys were convinced and felt what he said made sense. But for Xiao Naofu, it was like a bolt from the blue. What to do? What if the stinky man secretly took it to a pet hospital when Yi wasn't around? Xiao Naofu suddenly felt a chill under its tail. It hesitated, then leaned over to Shi Sui and spat out a piece of grilled fish. It urged anxiously. Meow. The netizens were tickled by this scene. Ha, Green Tea Meow is admitting defeat. Green Tea Axe. Big brother, try this fish, it's so delicious. Have you guys noticed? Shuringdi only bullies Xiao Naofu when sister Yi isn't around. He's just like my dad, who often bullies me behind my mom's back. Cack. Shi Sui lovingly rubbed the back of Xiao Naofu's neck and fed it the grilled fish. Be good, okay? Woo, stinky man. Xiao Naofu cried in its heart, and then tears flowed down from the corners of its mouth. It howled and bit into the grilled fish. How fragrant. The live stream in the afternoon went very smoothly and was very popular. #Hades' inspiration explosion #. Jiang Chen's girl group dance #. Shuringdi's women's wear #, and other topics were all highly discussed. In the blink of an eye, it was dinner time. Xiangyi wasn't sure when her brother would wake up, so she left some food for him and asked her brothers to bring the rest to the table. When she passed by her brother, she helped him tuck in his blanket. In some people's eyes, this scene was heartwarming and thoughtful, but in others' eyes, it was an unforgivable sin. There are actually people who don't think there's a problem. Have you all forgotten how disgusting the Xiong actress was back then? Then let me remind everyone. Sneak into Shuringdi's room. She's the kind of girl I hated the most when I was a student. She would go around calling everyone her brother. She's coquettish and pretends to be an innocent white lotus. Does she deserve to be called Big Brother Hades? Flirting with Hades while putting her own jacket on Shuringdi. If this isn't two-timing, what is? Chapter 175. Some netizens retorted. Hades also calls Xiangyi little sister. They might be siblings. A bunch of people immediately retorted. Haha, she said in an interview that she's an only child. Where did this brother come from? I now suspect that Smog isn't her biological brother either. He's just cooperating with her. How can there be so many coincidences in this world? Do you think reality is more exciting than TV dramas? The comment section was extremely noisy, and many people who didn't know what was going on were led astray. They either turned off the live stream or helplessly blocked the bullet screen. Why are there so many arguments every day? The staff immediately reported to Li Jianyu about the situation in the bullet screen. Li Jianyu frowned deeply. After all, there were so many netizens that it was normal for there to be haters. However, it was mealtime. After so many days of live streaming, the most attractive part of Two Under One Roof was the food that Xiangyi cooked. Hence, the comments during mealtime would be very harmonious. Today's large-scale argument. It was very abnormal. Li Jianyu suddenly thought of something and clicked on Chen Mian's WeChat Moments, the director of Heartbeat. He had posted a status update a few minutes ago. Chen Mian Miao TV. Miao TV's new live stream variety show, Eating Well for All 3 Meals, has officially set sail. Thanks to Meijia Milk by Xiangxiang Laundry Solution and Great Sports, 2 A-list celebrities have appeared. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., we will unveil 2 mysterious guests. Li Jianyu gritted his teeth. He didn't expect Chen Mian to start another variety show after the incident where he cheated his fans of their money. The name and number of guests were obviously the same as Two Under One Roof. Shameless. Li Jianyu gritted his teeth. He didn't expect to be so disgusted even after leaving Miao TV. The public relations department of Miao TV was extremely powerful, and the negative comments in the live stream were probably their doing. In order to promote their own variety show, they didn't hesitate to destroy their competitors. Such vicious competition was really despicable. At the dining table, no one knew about the bloody storm in the comments section. After the food was served, the boys ate very slowly. Xiangyi was puzzled. What's wrong? Is it not to your liking? Should I make something else for you? Considering that her younger brothers were growing but had to maintain their figures, she tried her best to make high-protein but low-calorie food. The most nutritious dish was a medicinal soup. It was meant to nourish the children's bodies, but it also removed the oil slick. Gazing at her, Jiang Chen said pitifully, "Sister, we won't be able to eat your cooking tomorrow." The atmosphere at the table instantly became gloomy. Not to mention eating big sister's food, they probably wouldn't even be able to eat their fill. Only then did the younger brothers realize what Senior Shi meant by losing something after obtaining it is the most painful. As expected of a senior. This was the truth of the world. How about this? What do you want to eat? You can send me a WeChat message, and I'll get the driver to deliver it to you. Xiangyi was always more patient with her beautiful younger brothers. Really? Jiang Chen and the others' eyes lit up. Yes, I'll keep my word. As a result, the bullet screen in the live stream became even more ferocious. I'm afraid she's gone crazy thinking about men. She's casting a wide net, right? I suggest everyone report this show. The reason is that it is spreading bad information. What's with the program assembly? Hurry up and get rid of the Xiang actress. Don't let her ruin good men like Shi Yingdi and Hades' younger brothers. She should just die to atone for her sins. Chapter 176. Miao TV. In the conference room, Chen Mian propped his feet up on the long table and looked at the comments on his phone with a smirk. The fake reviewers are doing well this time. The head of the public relations department smiled and said, "Now, not only has the comments section of the live stream of Two Under One Roof fallen, the posts we arranged on Weibo and forums have also been published. We can't beat them. Let's just compare how lousy they are. Anyway, Miao TV has never lost when it comes to lousy. Countless Weibo posts and posts were posted, and the negative public opinion was rampant. The live stream of Two Under One Roof is too hostile. It's better to look forward to Eating Well for All 3 Meals, a real lifestyle and food variety show. Do you really believe that Shi Yingdi doesn't need to be popular? Wang. Think about how many trending searches Two Under One Roof has been on these days. Who would believe that it's not a publicity stunt? The female star Xiang has really brought too much hate to Two Under One Roof. To be honest, she's almost considered a celebrity with a bad reputation. She openly flatters and seduces men. Choosing her to appear on this variety show is the production team's biggest mistake. Everyone had a herd mentality. Seeing the overwhelming negative comments about Two Under One Roof, the netizens who hadn't watched it naturally didn't want to watch it anymore. Those who were watching it also felt that it was better to watch something else. After all, it was too annoying to watch it with a bullet screen. The number of real-time viewers in the live stream had obviously begun to drop. However, why are there still so many people watching? Chen Mian frowned. The head of the public relations department was also a little speechless. Aren't these netizens stupid? More often than not, they would charge into the trap like an idiot and achieve the desired effect. They had planned this because they wanted the number of viewers to plummet. Although there was a drop now, the proportion was not high. There were still millions of people watching. She forced herself to save some face. Maybe it's because it's mealtime. You know that food bloggers are very clingy. Those fat foodies only have food in their eyes, so they probably blocked the bullet screen. Chen Mian urged. Add more fuel to the fire. If it doesn't work, contact the hacker from last time and hack their live stream. They had used this trick on the day Two Under One Roof started broadcasting, which was also the reason why the live stream of Two Under One Roof was interrupted several times that day. There are experts over at Xingqian app. Ordinary hackers can't break their security wall. Then let's find a top hacker. Top hackers are expensive too. That's nothing. As long as Two Under One Roof collapses, eating well for all 3 meals will be able to earn back the money in minutes. Chen Mian added, Don't forget that I invited Zhue Yi and Zhang Yuner this time. Zhue Yi, a double best actor, a famous martial arts star with a very high national popularity. Zhang Yun debuted as a singer. She was crowned as the Queen of Songs and had countless popular songs. These 2 people could be said to be A-listers among A-listers. A few years ago, when news of their secret marriage spread, Weibo was paralyzed. Fans felt that they had been deceived, and their reputation was affected. The reason why he participated in eating well for all 3 meals was that Muyao TV gave him a lot of money. On the other hand, he wanted to clear his name by showing off his love. The person in charge gritted his teeth. All right, I'll contact them right away. The manner. The dishes were swept clean. Xiangyi inadvertently turned her gaze and realized that her brother had woken up at some point in time. His slender fingers were resting on his forehead as he looked down at his phone. His expression. It was incomparably ugly. Chapter 177. Xiangyi got up and said, Brother, you're awake. I left some food for you, wait a moment. Hearing her voice, Xiangqi raised his head and responded with a faint before returning to his cold and aloof self. His slender fingers tapped something on the screen. Xiangyi trotted to the kitchen to bring out the food, which was naturally mocked again. Ha ha ha, in the end there's nothing left. Did Hades find out that she's the king of drama? Why are you still so eager to get close to him? Aren't you cheap? Hades doesn't like you at all, okay? Little did they know that the seemingly noble, aloof, and arrogant Hades was currently spouting sweet words on the livestream app. As soon as he sent out a few messages, a notification popped up on the screen. Frowny face. Hello respected user. Your account Little Sister is the cutest in the world, is suspected of violating the platform's rules and will be unblocked in 24 hours. Please be civilized and speak politely. Xiangqi. He took a deep breath and went to the bathroom to wash his face with cold water. Only then did he feel a little more stable. He dialed his little uncle Xiang Feng's number. After the call connected, he skipped the pleasantries and went straight to the point. Unblock my account on the Xingqian app. Xiang Feng complained. Am I omnipotent? Why do you always come to me for everything? Hey, what kind of overbearing CEO are you? Can't you do that? Xiang Feng. Send me your account number, I'll get someone to see what's going on. Xiangqi sent a screenshot of his account number to Xiang Feng's WeChat. Xiang Feng forwarded it to the staff of the technical department and clicked on his little niece's live stream to take a look. Thus, there was one more netizen in the live stream who was arguing with the haters. Thus, there was one more account that the technical staff had to unblock. Xiangqi came out of the bathroom and saw his sister coming out with 2 plates of food. One was the stir-fried pig intestines with pepper that he had ordered, while the other was his favorite seafood pasta. Xiangqi stepped forward and snatched the plate from her hand. He said fiercely, "I'll serve it myself." How could his sister use her hands to serve food? Xiangyi blinked. "Brother, what's wrong? Who made you angry?" Xiangqi. "It's none of your business." Bullet comments in the live stream. "Ha ha ha ha, clap clap clap, vase fairy, does your face hurt?" Xiangqi sat down at the dining table and noticed Shi Sui's jacket. He said angrily, "Why are you wearing her clothes?" Shi Sui said calmly, "She lent it to me." "Nonsense!" Xiangqi roared. His eyes fell on Xiangyi. "Did he steal your clothes? You're already so old, yet you still bully children." No matter how old Xiangyi was, she was still a child in his eyes. The word age successfully stabbed Shi Sui in the heart. Slowly, he began to roll up his shirt sleeves. Instantly, Xiangqi's mind was filled with the words, "Danger, danger, 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 danger." He threw down his chopsticks and said ruthlessly, "Don't come any closer. If you come any closer, I'll run away. Don't even think about touching a strand of my hair." Xiangyi, her brothers. Shi Sui snorted in disdain. Xiangqi trembled and tugged at Xiangyi's sleeves. He whispered, "So what if he stole it? I'll make you a cuter jacket." Xiangyi felt helpless and amused. "He didn't steal it. I lent it to him." "Why are you still speaking up for him at this time?" Xiangqi said bitterly. "Don't forget that you have your brother to protect you. I can't beat him in a fight, but I can climb trees better than him." Chapter 178. "Fine. I'll do whatever Big Brother says." Xiangyi's eyes were gentle as she pushed the food towards Xiangqi. "Big Brother, eat it while it's hot." Xiangqi tasted the stir-fried pig intestine with hot peppers. If the intestine wasn't handled well, the smell would be very strong. However, Xiangyi's stir-fried pig intestine not only didn't have any smell, but it was also very fragrant. During the stir-frying process, she added some bean paste, green peppers and onions, which made it especially chewy. While he was eating happily, he heard Shi Sui say leisurely, "Do you know that there's a tool called a ladder in the world?" Xiangqi was speechless. The pig intestine in his mouth instantly lost its fragrance. "Big Brother, stop teasing him," Xiangyi advised. Xiangqi initially thought that Xiangyi was calling him, but when he realized that she was calling Shi Sui Big Brother, the man was shocked. He had used an apron and a hair tie in exchange for his sister calling him Big Brother. What right did this old man Shi Sui have? What right did he have? "Don't call him Big Brother." Xiangshi was furious. Xiangyi was startled. What's the matter?" I don't care. Xiangqi was extremely aggrieved. "You can only call me Big Brother." In the live stream, there were already fake reviewers leading the discussion. Now, many netizens were affected and began to follow the trend. "No one will refute me if I say that Xiangshi is a green tea, right? Her existence on this show is so *king disgusting. I'm about to throw up my dinner from last night when she keeps calling him Big Brother. This is such a cheesy idol drama. Shi Sui and Hades are really degrading themselves. What kind of woman can't outstanding men like them find? It's so degrading to be jealous of such a woman." Xiangyi coaxed Xiangqi for a long time before he finally calmed down. However, when she met Shi Sui's innocent eyes, she inexplicably felt that she had let him down. The girl pondered for 2 seconds, picked up Xiao Naofu and whispered, "Xiao Naofu, can you do me a favor?" "Meow." "Help me coax Senior Shi. He doesn't seem too happy." "Xiao Naofu? What did you say?" "You want me to coax that stinky man?" "Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Can you coax him like you did just now?" Xiangyi negotiated with it. "I'll make you 3 days' worth of luxurious tiger rice. The kind that brain axe loves the most." "Xiao Naofu." Do you think you can move me like this? Absolutely not. 7 days. He couldn't take any more. Otherwise, I'll ask Zhang Chen and the others for help. Xiao Naofu panicked. Meow. It patted the girl's palm with its little paw, indicating that it was a deal. Xiangyi hugged and kissed it with satisfaction. At this time, Xiang Qi was almost done with his meal. He took out his phone and saw that Xiang Feng was very efficient. The ban on his account had been lifted. He opened the live stream to continue the battle, only to find that the comments were even more unsightly. Some people were even lecturing him. Hades, just play with Xiangyi, don't take it to heart. A woman like her doesn't deserve your protection. It doesn't make sense at all. Bang! Xiang Qi slammed the table, clicked on the person's profile picture, and sent a private voice message. Are you teaching me how to do things? You don't have the right to criticize my sister. I'm protecting my sister. Do I need to explain to you? Huh. The netizens watching the live stream were dumbfounded, and the comment section was full of question marks. Sister. Xiang Qi glanced at the comments and said coldly, "That's right, I'm Xiangyi's brother. Xiang Qi, do you have a problem with that?" Chapter 179. There was an uproar in the live stream. Are you kidding me? Hades is Xiangyi's brother. What the hell? There was Smog Xiangyu before, and now there's another brother? Then why did Xiangyi say that she's an only child? I even went to watch the interview. She said it herself. Not only were the netizens watching the live stream, but the staff and guests were also dumbfounded. Xiang Qi simply interacted with the netizens. She's an only child, yes, but I'm her cousin. Xiangyu. That silly boy is my cousin. We're family. Xiangyi watched from the side in a daze. She didn't expect that her brother would choose to disclose their relationship in such a way. The reason why he used the name Hades instead of his real name was that he only wanted to rely on his own strength and didn't want to have anything to do with the Xiang family. But now, because of her brother had exposed his real identity that he had been hiding for years. All of a sudden, her slender wrist was grabbed. Xiangyi looked up, only to find that her brother was standing in front of her at some point. Xiang Qi's expression was unprecedentedly solemn. She's my sister, not someone you can bully as you please. Rumors stop with the wise. I don't want any more slanderous remarks about her. Cyberbullying is too simple. Most of the time you don't realize how much harm your casual words can bring to others. If you can't learn to be kind, then at least keep your mouth shut. There was silence in the live stream, and even the netizens didn't know where to start. After more than 10 seconds, the comment section suddenly exploded. Ah, Hades is so awesome. When he was climbing the tree, he looked so silly and adorable, but now he's so damn handsome when he's seriously defending his sister. What the F***CK? One brother is an esports guru, while the other is a top designer. Other people's sisters really don't disappoint me. So everything makes sense now. Sister E treats Hades well because she dotes on her brother. Hades made aprons and hair rings for Sister E because he dotes on her. It's not like he's casting a net, it's a sibling relationship. The posts on Weibo and forums that were criticizing Xiangyi for flirting with Hades were instantly rebutted by netizens. Case solved, they're siblings. I suddenly feel weird. Why does he have to snipe Sister E every time? I just heard the analysis of a big shot in the media industry. He said that the core of Two Under One Roof seems to be Shengdi, but it's actually Xiangyi. In the early stages of the variety show, they relied on Shengdi's popularity, but what really stabilized the number of viewers and enriched the show's content was Xiangyi's culinary skills and skills. If it were any other artist, they wouldn't be able to achieve this effect. In other words, without Xiangyi, this variety show would never have achieved what it has today. The public opinion had reversed. Chapter 180. Xiangyi flirting with Hades. Are you kidding me? Xiangyi 2 timing. Are you kidding me? Thanks to the convenient speed of the internet, any information spread hundreds or thousands of times faster. The hashtag Xiangyi's brother, Hades hashtag became a trending topic, and the number of related topics remained high. Suppressing hashtag eating well for all 3 meals is about to start streaming hashtag Muyao TV. Seeing the shocking reversal, Chen Mian was about to vomit blood. He said angrily, "How can he be her brother? How many brothers does she have?" The head of the public relations department had a sullen look on her face. She never expected that Xiangyi and Hades were actually siblings. None of the points that she had asked the internet trolls to slander them could be used. Those were the prerequisites to slander them. Slandering them out of nothing wouldn't have much of an effect. The number of viewers in the live stream of 2 Under One Roof rose from more than 4 million to 5 million, and then to 6 million. Her heart skipped a beat when she saw the number. At this rate, it would probably rise to 10 million by the evening peak. What did that mean? It meant that 2 Under One Roof was really going to be a hit. Where are the hackers? Have you found them? Chen Mian roared. The head snapped out of her daze and hurriedly checked the messages on her phone. Her eyes lit up. I've contacted them. Chen Mian smiled viciously. Over 10 million. Don't even think about it. Xiang Qi's interaction with the netizens was still going on, and he was basically praising his sister the entire time. Of course, my sister is the cutest in the universe. Don't think that she's just good at cooking. Her sense of taste is amazing. She can tell the seasoning and cooking techniques just by tasting a dish. Xiang Yu is Sameo Gu, so I'm San Mao Gu? Who posted that? First it's kelp silk, now it's San Mao Gu. Do you think I don't care about my reputation? At this moment, the live stream suddenly went black and was forced to stop. All the viewers in the live stream immediately exited. They wanted to enter again, only to find that there was a bug in the live stream of 2 Under One Roof. At the live stream, Li Jianyu hurriedly called the staff forward to check the faults. Xiao Naofu, on the other hand, hesitated for a long time before finally jumping to Shui's side. It laid down, revealing its soft, milky white belly, its eyes filled with tears of humiliation. Shui raised her eyebrows and scratched its belly. Then, she withdrew her hand disinterestedly. Humph, what a stinky man playing hard to get. Xiao Naofu refused to believe it and used its head to nudge Shui's palm again. The man remained unmoved and even pushed it away in disgust. Boom! The sky collapsed. Xiao Naofu sat on the ground, doubting its life. This man, he is not interested in this Huhu's body. Holding the kitten's paw, Jiang Chen teased it with a smile. Your sister just kissed you, and you're abandoning her to play with someone else? He paused for a few seconds. His slender hand grabbed Xiao Naofu by the scruff of its neck and brought the cat in front of him. Shui narrowed his eyes. She kissed it. Xiao Naofu tilted its head. Meow. Shui curled his lips slightly and closed the distance between them. Taking advantage of the unsuspecting kitten, he pressed his pale lips onto Xiao Naofu's forehead with a chirp. Jiang Chen was dumbfounded. An inexplicable thought came to his mind. Does Senior Sure count as indirectly kissing my sister? Xiao Naofu. Damn it, why did you kiss me? This Huhu is not clean anymore. Chapter 181. A few minutes later, Li Jianyu helplessly announced, Xingchen Broadcasting contacted me, saying that a hacker maliciously attacked the database and specifically targeted our broadcast room. Even if we change to another broadcast room, I'm afraid we'll still be attacked. Today's broadcast will end here. Thank you for your hard work. The C7 brothers still had a schedule early in the morning. Although there were some regrets, they still had to leave. Before leaving, the brothers bowed to all the staff to express their gratitude. The program crew had a good impression of these cute and polite brothers. Li Jianyu even added them on WeChat to see if there was a chance to recommend them to other directors in the industry. Finally, it was time to say goodbye to Xiangyi. Sister. There were thousands of words in his heart, but he didn't know where to start. Zhang Chen's eyes were red. Thank you for inviting us to participate in Two Under One Roof. I feel very happy. Yes, me too, sister. Thank you for the food, sister. It's been hard on you. I hope sister can be happy every day. Hey, sister, everything is good. In the fast-forwarded world, Xiangyi had experienced too many farewells, so when she returned to the real world, she basically didn't take the initiative to socialize, because being in contact with people meant that there would inevitably be times when they would be separated. However, Two Under One Roof gave her a different feeling. Here, I prepared it for you guys. Eat well, especially when you're in a bad mood. Only then will you have the strength to face everything. She took out a few bundles of packed lunchboxes and smiled gently. I'm looking forward to the day when you guys shine on the stage. You can come eat here whenever you want, you're always welcome. Someone sobbed, and the sad mood spread. The younger brothers took the bento in her hand and walked forward without looking back. They were afraid that if they looked back, they wouldn't be able to hold back their tears. They didn't fear the cruelty of this world, but they could never be indifferent to gentleness. After sending off the brothers, Xiangyi was blocked by Xiangqi. Brother! The girl looked up and called out to him in confusion. Xiangqi's handsome face was tense. Want to talk? Xiangyi bit her lip and nodded. Under the tall sycamore tree, Xiangyi sat on the swing and looked at her brother expectantly. Xiangqi raised his hand and swung the swing for her. After pondering for a moment, he asked, Where have you been for the past year? Xiangyi didn't know how to answer. It's okay if you don't want to talk about it. It's good that you're back. Xiangqi's voice lowered, revealing a hint of hoarseness. The tip of Xiangyi's nose began to sting. She propped herself up on the tips of her toes and stopped, staring at Xiangqi seriously. Brother, I went on a trip. I went to a very distant place, met a lot of different people and learned some strange skills. Now that my trip is over, I'm going home because you're all here. Xiangqi's expression changed slightly. He turned his face away and asked awkwardly, Hey, did anyone bully you? Do you need me to avenge you? Xiangyi smiled. No, I'm the one bullying others. After all, she was the strongest assistant in the world. Xiangqi felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted off his shoulders. He suddenly grabbed Xiangyi's little face and squeezed it twice, threatening her fiercely. The next time you go on a trip, you have to bring me along. At the very least, you should have informed me. 'Cause I'm really worried about you. Sister, be good, okay? Chapter 182. The air was especially fresh after the rain, and there was a faint floral scent in the air. A few street lamps gave off a warm glow, and even the night breeze was extremely gentle. Xiangyi wanted to cry, but she tried her best to hold it in. She sounded like she was about to cry. Don't cry. Xiangqi's tone was fierce and his voice was nasal. He sniffled, took out his phone and turned on the camera. You, hurry up and coax me. Xiangyi. Big brother is the best in the world. Xiangqi emphasized. Third brother is the best in the world. Xiangyi cooperated and recorded a video. Xiangqi was elated. I'll send it to Sanction and the rest now. The atmosphere between the brother and sister was filled with warmth after they had reconciled. Not long after the message was sent, Xiangyi was curious. Did they reply? Xiangqi took a look and saw that Sanction had not replied. It was probably because of the time difference or because he was busy with work overseas. Xiangyu had not replied either. He was probably still in an autistic state. However, his second brother, Xiang Li, who he thought was the busiest, had replied. Xiang Li, ha. Xiang Li, mile. Xiang Li. I'm planning to go to the manor tomorrow. Xiang Li. The sun will still rise tomorrow. It's unknown if you can see it. Xiang Qi. He quickly put away his phone and put it in his pocket, not showing Xiangyi the content of his reply. Brother, let me see. Xiangyi whined. What are you looking at? Go to sleep. Xiang-Chi put on the airs of an older brother. Well, I have to go back to the studio to work on the new design. Huh. That urgent. Stay for another night. You can leave after breakfast tomorrow. I want to eat my sister's breakfast. But I have to be alive to eat it. Xiang-Chi struggled for 2 seconds and made up his mind. You don't have to send me off. I'm leaving. He plunged into the darkness as if he were being chased by a dog. Xiangyi. The childish third brother was so strange. However, she and third brother had reconciled. Thinking of this, a smile appeared at the corner of the little girl's mouth, and even her footsteps became lighter. In the living room, when Xiangyi came in, she saw Shi Sui fiddling with a projector. The screen was frozen at the beginning of a movie. It looked like a horror movie. Only then did she remember that she had only used the projector a few times since she had bought it a long time ago. You want to watch a movie? Shi Sui looked back and raised her eyebrows. Xiang-Chi doesn't allow you to call him brother, so you won't. The little girl wanted to change her words, but Shi Sui said casually, It doesn't matter what you call me. Xiangyi. Then, how about I call you by your name? Calling him senior was indeed too distant. She was afraid that Shi Sui would mind if she called him Zai Zai. After thinking about it, it seemed that calling him by his name was the most appropriate. Shi Sui's eyelids drooped lazily, and the light reflected on his face gently. In the midst of the light and shadow, he responded with an indiscernible Shi Sui. The little girl's voice was gentle and soft. She had heard this name countless times, but it sounded different when she called it. For some reason, it felt more intimate than when she called him brother. He looked at her from afar. His temperament and expression were as gentle and clear as ever, but there was a touch of affection between his thin eyebrows. Do you want to watch a movie together? He asked. Okay, I'll go get the popcorn. Xiangyi came out with the homemade milk-flavored popcorn. Shi Sui poured 2 glasses of drinks and made goat milk for Xiao Naofu. Xiangyi's brain twitched and she blurted out, Aren't we a bit like a family of 3 watching a parent-child movie together? The room went silent for a moment. Chapter 183. An invisible awkwardness pervaded the air. Xiangyi awkwardly corrected herself. I'm telling a joke, isn't it funny? Shi Sui raised an eyebrow. A cold joke. Fresh out of the oven, should it be considered a hot joke? It sounded more like a cold joke. The girl simply used the wisdom that her brother had taught her. As long as I don't feel awkward, then it's others who feel awkward. She calmly sat down on the sofa and stuffed popcorn into her mouth. Let's start. Shi Sui turned off the lights in the living room and pressed play with the remote control. The room darkened, accompanied by the gloomy scene and terrifying sound effects on the screen. Xiao Naofu desperately burrowed into Xiangyi's arms. Xiangyi raised her hand to hug it, and the little cat whined and rubbed against her collarbone. Suddenly, there was the sound of a chainsaw drilling. Xiao Naofu was so scared that it wanted to bury its head in her chest, but a ruthless hand suddenly appeared behind its neck and lifted it into the air. Meow meow meow. Xiao Naofu kicked its little legs, so scared that its fur stood up. Shi Sui calmly stuffed the little cat into her pajamas pocket. I'll take care of Xiao Naofu, you eat your popcorn first. Xiao Naofu was as timid as a dog. It buried its face in the pajamas pocket and didn't dare to move. Xiangyi. I want to tell a joke again, do you want to hear it? Shi Sui. Huh. Xiangyi. The scene just now was a bit like, Mother of a child, I'll take care of Xiao Naofu, you eat your popcorn first. Darkness shrouded the man's eyebrows and he seemed to chuckle. His voice was low and magnetic, revealing a languid and seductive energy. When did our sister learn to take advantage of others? Cough cough. Xiangyi choked on her popcorn. Fortunately, Shi Sui handed her a glass of honey lemonade in time. She drank 2 mouthfuls to moisten her throat and pretended to be calm. If you really want to take advantage of others, I'll call you Zai Zai and let you and Xiao Nao Fu call each other brothers. Xiao Nao Fu. Meow. This dog of a man doesn't deserve to be called brother of this hoo-hoo. Shi Sui raised her eyebrows. In that case, it's not unfair for me to call you the mother of my child, right?
Mo.
I was just spouting nonsense. You don't have to beat around the bush. Shi Sui crossed his long legs and leaned against the sofa leisurely. If you want to take advantage of me, I'll let you take advantage of me. Xiangyi. Why did he feel like he was being teased? The girl took a deep breath. It was probably because she was too excited about reconciling with her brother that she was talking nonsense. Xiangyi stiffly changed the topic. Where is the plot now? Where's the ballet dancer? She had asked casually, thinking that Shi Sui would answer her quickly. She did not expect him to be silent for more than 10 seconds before he said uncertainly, "Did you get your lunchbox?" The next second, the camera panned to the ballerina, Shi Sui. With her by his side, it became extremely difficult to focus on watching the movie. Fortunately, the girl was engrossed in the movie and did not care about his answer at all. As she ate, she became sleepy and her head nodded. It looked like she was about to fall to the other side of the sofa. Shi Sui quietly put his hand on the back of the girl's neck and gently moved her to his shoulder. The girl leaned on his shoulder, sleeping soundly with her eyes closed. His thin lips curled up slightly. Xiao Naofu's cat eyes widened. It felt like this scene was even scarier than the horror movie that was currently playing. This dog of a man actually has such a gentle side. Don't tell me this hoo-hoo is really going to have another father. Ah no, another brother. Chapter 184. Unlike the peaceful days in the manor, a huge wave had been set off on the internet. First, there was a huge reversal of public opinion. Claims about Xiangyi being a seductress and the self-objectification of women were all overturned by netizens. The marketing accounts and fake reviewers were scolded so badly that they began to doubt their lives. Then, the closure of the live stream caused strong dissatisfaction among fans. Complaints and disses were everywhere on the internet. What technical problem is this? It's been so long and they still can't watch the live stream. Let's talk about a conspiracy theory. I feel that the problem with the live stream is not a technical problem at all, but someone's doing. Think about it, the live stream of Two Under One Roof was also shut down several times on the first day, right? Don't talk about traffic problems. The traffic for the premiere of Heartbeat Next Door is not lower than that of Heartbeat. Why is the live stream so peaceful and the internet so stable? It's obvious that Muyao TV is familiar with this operation. What kind of tricks have they not used before? Slandering, exposing black material, creating hype, and hiring fake reviewers. 2 years ago, they plagiarized a small web show and refused to admit it. The director posted on Weibo asking for help from netizens, but in the blink of an eye, his leg was broken. Damn! I was wondering why there were so many posts defaming Xiangyi. I thought that this girl's business skills were a little bad in the past, but it wasn't to the point of being despised by everyone. It turns out that someone deliberately did this. These comments caused a huge uproar. Some fans even went to Muyao TV's official Weibo account and left comments asking for an explanation. The operations department of the official Weibo account approached the public relations department, and after some discussion they decided to delete the comments, block users, remove the trending searches on Weibo. The public relations department had long been used to such operations. The emotions of netizens came and went quickly. How long could the love last? How long could the hate last? As long as they refused to admit it and refused to respond, the netizens would have no evidence and no patience. What could they do to them? However, to everyone's surprise, the official Weibo account's high and mighty attitude of not taking the netizens seriously had successfully angered a large group of people. No way, right? I'm anxious. Delete the post? Can you delete it all? If you don't want people to know, don't do it in the first place. I'm dying of laughter. If you're not guilty, then what is? The love and hate on the internet might not last long. But anger does. It is better to divert than to block, and divert than to lead. Blocking it and suppressing it would result in a backlash. Muyao Satellite TV's official Weibo was flooded with comments. Some people even found out that Chen Mian was the director of Eating Well for All 3 Meals, which would be broadcasted tomorrow. The netizens found a place to vent their emotions. Chen Mian's personal Weibo and the official Weibo of Eating Well for All 3 Meals instantly fell. At the drinking party, Chen Mian enjoyed everyone's toasts proudly. During this time, some people glanced at their phones and began to whisper to the people around them. Within a few minutes, everyone was looking at him strangely. Why aren't you drinking anymore? Are you looking down on me? Chen Mian was shouting drunkenly when his phone suddenly rang. It was obviously the name of his direct superior. The call was connected and the boss said concisely, "Xiao Chen, the project Eating Well for 3 Meals has been assigned to someone else. You should rest well for a while." Chen Mian instantly sobered up. His face was as pale as a ghost. "Leader, you can't give up on me like this." The phone was hung up coldly. He wailed, "No." Chapter 185. At the same time, at a research institute, on the outdoor balcony, sparks of light flickered. Brotherly, I finally succeeded. My experiment has perfectly extracted the GHE3 enzyme. The chubby boy saw Xiang Li and rushed over excitedly, wanting to give him a big hug. Xiang Li's indifferent movement was comparable to a flash in a game, causing the little fatty to pounce on empty air. The tall man with long legs leaned against the railing, a cigarette in his mouth, looking indifferent and distant. "Congratulations. What's wrong with a hug?" the chubby boy mumbled. "Isn't everyone saying that you don't like girls?" Xiang Li lifted his thin single eyelids, revealing a faint red mole under his eyelid. "Assuming that I like boys, what does that have to do with liking you? Do you think I don't care about looks or IQ?" The chubby boy was speechless. "Thank you, I'm hurt. Brotherly, I heard that you took a leave of absence tomorrow. Are you going home to visit your family?" There were many research maniacs in the research institute, and they might not contact the outside world for months when they were busy with a project. Xiang Li was the most exaggerated. In the past year, he had barely left the research institute. At the mention of family, Xiang Li obviously relaxed a lot. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly, and he smiled a little mischievously. "I'm going home to bully little bunnies." The chubby boy was speechless. What kind of bad taste is this? The next day, Xiangyi slept very soundly. When she woke up, she looked at the alarm clock beside her bed. It was 6:53 a.m. While washing up, the girl suddenly realized something. Wait, wasn't she watching a movie last night? Why was she in her own bed when she woke up? She spat out the mouthwash and sighed. After transmigrating back, her vigilance was getting lower and lower. Meow. Xiao Naofu, who was lying on the pillow next to her, opened its eyes and looked at her, humming in a childish voice. It liked to sleep on pillows instead of a cat bed. Xiangyi couldn't do anything about it, so she could only pamper it. "Sleep a little longer, I'll make you some chicken and pumpkin rice later." Xiangyi kissed its forehead out of habit, but Xiao Naofu stiffened. Yesterday, that stinky man had also kissed her here. It couldn't even lick its fur. How infuriating! The little kitten rubbed Xiangyi's lips with its paw and meowed miserably. "Stupid woman, you're the same as this who. You're not clean anymore." After the morning exercise, Xiangyi made breakfast for the staff. The doorbell rang and she got up to open the door. The morning fog had yet to disperse, and the surroundings were filled with moist and hazy water vapor. Little Rabbit Farm's Wang Xuanli smiled at Xiangyi and said, "Miss Xiangyi, I'm here to deliver some food to you." After knowing that Xiangyi was streaming, he would come over personally to deliver the ingredients every day. He would choose the best and freshest ingredients from Little Rabbit Farm. Thank you, Uncle Wang. Thank you for your hard work. Xiangyi took the basket from his hand and said, Stay for breakfast. Wang Xuanli said, No, there are quite a lot of things to do at the farm. Oh, by the way, it seems that people from the Research Institute are coming over today. I received a notice that the experimental field is going to be inspected or something. I see. Xiangyi nodded. Then I'll have to trouble you to cooperate. As they spoke, the sound of a car horn came from the gate. It was a very rhythmic 3 beeps, no more and no less as usual. Xiangyi's heart skipped a beat. Looking into the distance, she saw a low-key black car. The muscular bodyguard got out of the car first and opened the door for the person in the back. She received an editor's notice that Sister E is 10 years old would be published after 0:30 tonight. After it was published, each chapter would cost 5 cents, and it would cost about 2 to 3 cents a day to catch up. Those with high VIP status could even get a discount. Writing a book was just like being a staff member at a fried chicken shop, a milk tea shop, and a staff member at a hot and sour noodle shop. It was all a job. Nuanyuan also earned her tuition fees and pocket money through her own hands. She hoped everyone could understand a little plot trailer. 1. Isn't Second Brother Online good? White Chia Black meets Green Tea Meow and Best Actor. The competition between families is about to start. 2. Sea King. Sister E is online and there's a bunch of fresh meat in the house. Shuringdi's status is in danger. I'm the male lead. 3. A large-scale face-slapping scene. When it comes to face-slapping, our Sister E will definitely not lose. 4. Throwing sugar at an untimely time. Today we're all experts. 5. Second brother is here. Can the stubborn big brother be far behind? 6. Sister E drops her disguise and reveals her identity. She's really a Mr. Perfect big brother. Here's the main point, there are more than 20 chapters. O*degree***. OA Book's first subscription is quite important. If possible, I hope our Sister E can have a full subscription. Full heart to all the lovely you who accompanied me here. Chapter 186. The sunlight pierced through the clouds and the mist, landing on the man's body. He wore a clean white cotton shirt paired with black trousers. The top 2 buttons of his shirt were unbuttoned, revealing a clean protruding Adam's apple. He pushed his glasses up with his fingers. The skin of his wrist was so fair that it was almost transparent. The light blue veins were faintly discernible. He was thin but not frail. A pair of silver-rimmed glasses rested on his high nose bridge. He exuded a gentle and proper aura. The bodyguard opened the black wrought iron gate for him. The man walked slowly into the manor. Xiangyi took a few steps forward and stopped, hesitating. It was her second brother. Xiangyi. His hand. Was it all right? The man had long legs and big strides. In the blink of an eye, he was in front of Xiangyi. But his gaze went past Xiangyi and landed on Wang Xuanli. Are you the person in charge of Little Rabbit Farm? Yes, it's me. You're from the Research Institute. Xiangli nodded, his posture elegant and clear, like a gentle young master from an ancient scholarly family. Xiangyi's face turned pale and she gripped the corner of her clothes tightly. Her brother treated her like air. It turned out that what was worse than indifference was disregard. Wang Xuanli said politely, I'm a bore. I don't know how to say nice things. Thank you for your hard work. Have you had breakfast? Our Miss Yi's cooking is superb. Uncle Wang, take him to Little Rabbit Farm to eat. Xiangyi interrupted Uncle Wang and glanced at Xiang Li's right hand. Upon closer inspection, she saw that it was wrapped in a light-colored wrist guard. She bit her lower lip subconsciously, not daring to meet Xiang Li's eyes at all. She was afraid that she would see blame in her second brother's eyes. She was even more afraid that her second brother would treat her like a stranger. As for breakfast, considering her third and fourth brother's attitudes, her second brother must hate her to the core. How could he eat it? He would probably be annoyed if he even spoke to her. For the first time, Xiangyi ran away. She ran away. Missy. Wang Xuanli scratched his head, puzzled. What's wrong with Miss E? She had never made a mistake when it came to etiquette, but her behavior today was very unusual. However, Xiangli suddenly narrowed his slender eyes, as a glimmer of a black-bellied light flashed past his eyes. He had only experimented for a while, and the answer had already surfaced. As expected, it wasn't that anymore. Xiangyi stayed in the room until 5 minutes before the start of the live broadcast. Hearing the noise, Shui turned her head and fixed her gaze on the little girl. Although she was wearing light makeup, he could tell that Xiangyi was trying to hide something. It was a morning that could not be concealed. You don't have a fever today, do you? Shui asked. Xiangyi answered absent-mindedly. Out of the corner of her eye, she caught a glimpse of Li Jianyu and Xiang Li chatting about something and dancing with joy. Her eyes widened. Sister E, come, let me introduce you to a big shot. Li Jianyu waved at her. He helped us a lot. Xiangyi's expression stiffened, and she did not dare to approach at all. Suddenly, Shui's gentle voice sounded in her ear. Together. Xiangyi thanked him softly and gratefully. Thank you. Shui ruffled her hair. Not far away, Xiang Li's eyes suddenly flashed under his silver-rimmed glasses. Li Jianyu was as happy as a fool. This is Dr. Xiang, a big scientific researcher who came to Little Rabbit Farm for a business trip. He heard about the attack on our live broadcast and helped us write a security wall program. Scientists these days are really too helpful. Alright, both of you have the same surname, it's really fate. Your ancestors might be from the same family. Chapter 187. Xiangyi's cherry lips parted. She didn't reply. Xiang Li looked at her with a half-smile and reached out his clean and slender hand. Hello. For a moment, Xiangyi thought that her brother had forgiven her. But, how was that possible? Second brother's hand was crippled. Xiangyi couldn't help but feel angry when she recalled the information she had received from the investigation. A year ago, the person who possessed her body invited second brother to go rock climbing. She wasn't a professional at all, but she refused to wear any protective gear and insisted on climbing on her own. As a result, she almost fell off the rock wall. It was second brother who saved her. However, in order to save her, he cut his right wrist. The wound went deep into his bone and pressed on his nerves. Although it didn't affect his normal life, he could no longer perform those extremely sophisticated experiments. After the incident, Xiangyi even tried to shirk responsibility and lied that Xiangli had accidentally injured himself and had nothing to do with her. She had completely broken second brother's heart. The Xiang family didn't believe her one-sided story. They went to check the surveillance footage and found out the truth. They gave her one last chance to confess, but she still lied. After this incident, everyone in the Xiang family was utterly disappointed in her. That was why they didn't care about her after she entered the entertainment industry. Xiangyi subconsciously rubbed her hand on her skirt before shaking Xiang Li's hand. Her voice trembled as she said, "Hello." Xiang Li let go of her hand after shaking it for a moment. He restrained himself and didn't seem to have any problems. However, he frowned slightly. Why is my sister's hand so cold? Because of his frown, Xiangyi felt like her heart had been pricked by a needle. She lowered her eyes, her long eyelashes casting a faint shadow on her milky white face. So, he still hates me. Li Jianyu was still blabbering heartlessly. Dr. Xiang even agreed to be our guest this episode to spread the knowledge of scientific farming. He suddenly felt that his variety show had become much more sophisticated. Xiangyi felt a little happy. If her brother was going to be a guest, didn't that mean she would be able to see him all day? But she soon realized that perhaps her brother didn't want to see her. 2 minutes later. Teachers, get ready. The live stream is about to begin. The staff members began to move. Xiangyi forced herself to look at the camera. As usual, today's live broadcast began with breakfast on the dining table. Steamed buns, soy milk, bean dregs cakes, tea eggs. Simple home-cooked dishes were cooked with Xiangyi's skillful hands, making them incomparably appetizing. She made 2 kinds of stuffed buns. The meat buns were made from 3 fat and 7 lean pork. She used a processing machine to make minced meat and added scallions, ginger, fennel, and other things to enhance the flavor. The vegetarian buns were made from mushroom and winter bamboo shoots. She added a few drops of sesame oil and it tasted particularly delicious. Even the folds were pinched like a piece of art. They were delicate and white, obediently nestled in the steamer, waiting to be pampered. Soy milk was made by mixing soybeans, rice, peanuts, red dates, and other ingredients. Then, it was ground out bit by bit using the graphite in the small kitchen before being heated. The remaining bean dregs were mixed with a little flour and eggs to make a bean dregs cake. It was crisp and crispy. The tea eggs were stewed overnight and even the egg yolk had become tasty. Paired with a dish of boiled vegetables and a few small plates of pickled vegetables, it was nutritious and heartwarming. Through the live stream camera, it was transmitted to every viewer's screen. "Oh, I'm hit by the delicious food again. I'm crying, I've already had breakfast. I'm hungry again. Clever and deft E. The most beautiful master chef E. I support 2 under 1 roof. I support Sure Sway. I support Sister E." With the support of public opinion last night, the atmosphere in the live stream was harmonious and beautiful. Chapter 188. When Xiang Li entered the scene, Li Jianyu acted as the narrator and gave him a simple self-introduction. The live comments. A 26-year-old PhD student. What kind of divine top student brother is this? Woo-woo. He has such a clean temperament. He has a gentle and scholarly aura and that little red mole. He's so perfect for my taste. He's not a doctor, he's a sniper. Which Xiang is he? Xiang. 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 Haha, if it's Xiang Li, he might be Sister Yi's brother. I'm dying of laughter. Is everyone with the surname Xiang her brother? What are you dreaming about in broad daylight? It's none of your business. How much did Muyao TV pay you? Why do you have to be a dog instead of a human? As long as there were 1 or 2 haters, they would soon be rebuked. Muyao TV was now everyone's public enemy. Of course they had to defend Xiangyi. At the dining table, Xiangyi held her breath nervously, afraid that her brother wouldn't touch the food she cooked. To her surprise, her brother ate it. His expression was natural and he didn't show any disdain. He even praised her by saying, "It tastes good." Xiangyi thought that her brother might have said that out of social etiquette. Facing the person who ruined his hand, he was still so gentle. Her brother was really great. Little did she know that Xiang Li really just felt that his sister's culinary skills were too good. It's been a long time since I last tasted this delicious. He slowly peeled a tea egg and handed it to Xiangyi. Here for you. Ha! Xiangyi raised her starry eyes, full of disbelief. Seeing that she didn't take it, Xiang Li placed it on a small plate in front of her. He then peeled another one and gave it to Sure Sway. Sure Sway. Thank you. Xiang Li smiled slightly. You're welcome. The pop-up comments instantly exploded. Is there anyone who supports the Doctor and Sister E? Don't the Doctor and Best Actor pair make sense? Big Bro Swordsman is so gentle QAQ, I can't resist such a gentleman. Xiangyi's eyes were filled with surprise. She carefully ate the tea egg, thinking that it was really delicious when peeled by her brother. Even though she knew that her brother was very good at taking care of people, the little girl couldn't help but smile. At this moment, someone suddenly commented in the live stream. F***CK, did any of you see the new news about Xiangyi on Weibo? I'm shocked. Her persona has completely collapsed. At first there were people who mocked. Another water army. I won't see you off. But soon more and more people posted similar comments, arousing the curiosity of many people. Hence they opened Weibo. The so-called melon was a long Weibo post posted by a blogger named Noob Baldy PhD. Noob Baldy PhD. Old fans who follow me should know that I'm a die-hard fan of Dr. X. As a top expert in biomedicine, he has been involved in many fields, especially in the field of medicine. He's a god among gods. However, he withdrew from the most cutting-edge experimental research a year ago and chose to take the theoretical route instead. I couldn't figure it out no matter how hard I thought about it. It wasn't until recently that I learned that Dr. X was forced to stop his research because his right hand was injured and his nerves were damaged. What shocked me even more was that his hand wasn't injured by accident. It was caused by Xiangyi V. I have the video as evidence. A bright star in the scientific research field has fallen, and a so-called star in the entertainment industry has become extremely popular. It's really magical realism. Alas, how unfortunate. How ironic. Chapter 189. The blogger was usually humorous and witty, and he even had a private message account. He would often post posts about the campus life of some fans, such as weird teachers and weird classmates. He had quite a lot of fans. Hence, when this Weibo post was posted, it immediately became popular. The fans of Two Under One Roof, and Xiangyi's fans who rushed over after hearing the news didn't believe it at first, but after watching the video, they all fell silent. The video was taken at an outdoor rock climbing base. It was obvious that Xiangyi wasn't wearing any protective gear and was recklessly climbing with her bare hands. However, she didn't climb very high before she ran out of strength. Just as she was about to fall, Xiangyi quickly climbed up to save her. However, she didn't know if she was scared or nervous, but after she steadied herself, she bumped into Xiangyi. Xiangyi also injured his hand as blood slid down his almost transparent fingertips. It was a ghastly sight. But not only did she not show any concern for Xiangyi, she even complained that her hand was scratched and cried for the emergency doctor to treat her first. Even if Xiangyi was just an ordinary person, the netizens who saw this scene were furious to the extreme, let alone the fact that he was a top medical doctor. I thought Xiangyi was being defamed by Muyao TV, but it turns out she has a bad character to begin with. Vomit vomit. She bumped into him on purpose, right? Dr. X is a national treasure in scientific research. What is she up to? Is she a spy sent by a foreign country? She cried and asked the doctor to treat her first. I'm so disgusted. How can a person be so selfish? I'm going to save my breath. I just want to ask Xiangyi V, why are you still pretending to be a gentle and intellectual girl? Are you a B***H? When the public relations department of Muyao TV saw this Weibo post, they slapped their thighs and exclaimed, "This is like giving a pillow when I'm sleepy." The public relations department bought this Weibo post on the spot and made it a hot search. A stone stirred up 1,000 ripples, and the ripples were monstrous. The video was equivalent to concrete evidence. The fans were all dumbfounded. Not to mention defending Xiangyi, most of them began to waver on whether they should stop being fans. 20 minutes later, the Noob PhD posted a screenshot of the live stream of Two Under One Roof, and wrote a line from Tagore's famous poem, "The world kissed me with pain, and I will repay it with a song." The picture was of Xiangyi peeling an egg for Xiangyi and handing it to her with a smile. This picture successfully caused the netizens' anger to reach its peak. So Xiangyi is Dr. X. Oh my God, how can he still smile at his enemy? Doctor, you have a great and compassionate heart. But she doesn't deserve to eat at the same table as you. Kneeling down isn't enough to make up for it. How can she still have the nerve to pretend that nothing happened? A person who can repay kindness with ingratitude to her savior. A person who is so thick-skinned yet still wants to market herself as a victim. With all due respect, she's trash. Absolute trash. In reality, in a certain high-end apartment, Qin Wanyan scrolled through her phone with a smirk. Thinking of how Xiangyi had dared to suppress her on the red carpet last time, Qin Wanyan's eyes flashed with ruthlessness. That stupid woman has left so many things in my hands. She sneered. You want to be famous. Dream on. You only deserve to be stepped on by me. She clicked on the chat box with Yan Nai and pretended to type. Ah Nai, I didn't expect Xiangyi to do such a thing. I don't think I know her anymore. Ding dong. It was Yan Nai's reply, which was incomparably firm. Frowny face. I believe her. Chapter 190. Qin Wanyan was speechless. If director Yan hadn't been preparing for a big movie, she wouldn't have bothered to maintain her relationship with Yan Nai. Before, Yan Nai would listen to anything she said. But didn't he just go to the manor to record a show for a day? Why did his attitude towards Xiangyi change completely? Qin Wanyan clenched her teeth and typed, but there's video evidence. Yan Nai. Yeah. Qin Wanyan. And there's a technical analysis from the netizens. The video is real and hasn't been edited. She had saved the video immediately after the incident. Qin Wanyan knew better than anyone the authenticity of the video. Yan Nai. Oh. Qin Wanyan. I've already said this much. Why is this idiot still so stubborn? Qin Wanyan was conflicted for a long time. She wanted to say something more, but her phone vibrated. It was a WeChat message from Yan Nai. Yan Nai. I believe in my eyes and I believe in Sister Xiangyi's character. Even if she really did something wrong, others can criticize and condemn her. But as Sister Xiangyi's friend, we shouldn't talk about her behind her back. Sister Wanyan, this is the last time I'm calling you Sister Wanyan. I'm just someone who doesn't care about reason. You can scold me if you want. But I know that if you did something wrong, Sister Xiangyi would never come to me and say bad things about you like you are doing now. Qin Wanyan was dumbfounded. How could this be? Yan Nai would rather speak for Xiangyi, the perpetrator, than stand on her side. At the manor, the scheduled guests arrived a little late due to a delayed flight. Today's invited guest was also related to Shi Sui. He personally went to the entrance to greet her. Li Jianyu motioned for Xiangyi's cameraman to leave. He walked to Xiangyi's side and motioned for her to turn off the microphone. Sister E, is Dr. Xiang's hand injury really related to you? Li Jianyu couldn't bring himself to say it. He stole a glance at Xiang Li. The young doctor was flipping through a book on the open bookshelf. His head was lowered and he looked serious and focused. The girl was silent for 2 seconds before she nodded. Although the soul wasn't hers, there was no way to explain it. Li Jianyu was extremely shocked. After a while, he sighed and patted Xiangyi's shoulder. I'm a few years older than you, so I should be qualified to nag at you. Sister E, I think Dr. Xiang doesn't seem to want to argue with you, but... Did you properly apologize? Xiangyi smiled bitterly. I haven't seen him in a long time. Li Jianyu said solemnly. If you did something wrong, the least you should do is apologize. Thank you. I will apologize and make up for it. It's good that you can think that way. Li Jianyu heaved a sigh of relief. You're a good kid who knows how to correct your mistakes. At this moment, Shi Sui came to pick up the guests. Before entering the door, they heard a burst of clear laughter. Oh, this place is really nice. The birds are singing and the flowers are fragrant. The air is good. Old Shang, I told you I was right. Old Shang said helplessly. Madam, slow down. You walk slowly. I'm going to the kitchen to see if there are any leftovers from little Xiangyi. A middle-aged woman took the lead and stepped into the living room. She was born with a pair of smiling eyes. When she saw Xiangyi, she greeted her warmly. Hello, little Xiangyi. Xiangyi rubbed her eyes in disbelief. It was actually her childhood goddess, Yin Jiangxue. Hello, teacher Yin. She greeted politely. Suddenly, she saw Yin Jiangxue waving at Shi Sui. Son, help mom see if there's any leftovers. Chapter 191. Xiangyi had heard that Mother Shi had been recuperating overseas due to health reasons. She had never seen her before, so she was stunned. Ain is Shi Sui's mother? That can't be right, right? Shi Sui said helplessly. Mama Yin, are you here to record a show or to eat? Yin Jiangxue said indignantly. Of course I'm here for the food. Shi Sui asked. Can you pay for the food? The interaction between the two made many netizens laugh, and for a moment, the comments in the live stream finally returned to normal. Wow! So this episode is Mama Yin. I cry every time I watch Writing a Letter to You So Far Away. Ms. Yin is indeed an experienced actress. Her acting skills are way better than the young actors nowadays. What the hell? Shi Sui's biological mother is here? Is it that exciting? Ha ha ha, let me explain. Mama Yin and Shi Sui have worked together in a movie before. They acted as mother and son and it was very touching. If you're interested, go watch it. Yin Jiangxue. She's just an auntie who got remarried. What's there to see? Can't the production team invite some guests I know? Knows. I'm slowly typing a question mark. When Ms. Yin was young, she not only won the Best Actress Award in the country, but also won the Best Actress Award at the International Film Awards. Her professional skills are top-notch, and her looks and figure are still on point. What era is it now? She's still using her second marriage to attack women? Seeing the interaction between the two, Xiangyi came to a realization. They probably just worked together before. The young girl silently brought breakfast over. Yin Jiangxue happily dragged her husband to eat. She tried a vegetarian bun first and was instantly amazed. Little Xiangyi, your cooking is superb. Yin Jiangxue was especially good at praising others. This bun should only exist in heaven. It's rare to see it on earth. It's so delicious, I'm not going to leave. Yin Jiangxue's husband, Sheng Guang, was a famous calligrapher. He had an elegant and refined personality, and there was a sense of calmness in his body. However, after tasting the steamed buns and bean dregs, he also nodded and praised. These home-cooked dishes have the taste of delicacies. Xiangyi replied with a smile. Teachers, you flatter me. After breakfast, Shi Sui took Yin Jiangxue to visit the garden. Sheng Guang was a scholar, so he habitually looked at the bookshelves. Coincidentally, Xiang Li was holding an ancient book. The two of them had similar interests, so they chatted for a while. Xiangyi went to the kitchen to make chicken and pumpkin rice for Xiao Naofu. The image of her all alone was particularly tragic in the live broadcast room. The netizens on Weibo were full of confidence, and they didn't hold back when they attacked. Seeing that B*Xiang Xiang being isolated, I'm relieved. So satisfying. Don't say that she's pitiful. She deserves it. That B*Xiang Xiang's only worth is cooking. The production team shouldn't give her any more screen time, just let her be a maid and do odd jobs. Bad comments flooded in like a tide, covering the sky and earth. In a trance, Li Jianyu felt as if he had returned to the first day of the live stream. At that time, Xiangyi had also been criticized by the entire internet. She had finally managed to turn things around, only to be beaten back into the mud. He had a headache. Even if he was biased towards Xiangyi from a personal perspective, he could only temporarily reduce her screen time and presence. The netizens who had discovered this became even more derisive. Seems like the production team has given up on her. Why aren't the fans of the actress Xiang dancing? And the fans of the untimely CP, why are they so quiet today? Ha ha ha. Can I ask if she's guilty of intentional injury? If she has violated the law, she should be punished by the law. Chapter 192. In the past year, Xiangyi had really left a bad impression on the public. Everyone had already formed an inherent impression of her. Xiangyi's name had long been equated with words such as vase, crybaby, and incompetent. Over the past few days, Xiangyi had indeed gained a group of fans through the red carpet shows of Two Under One Roof and Tomato Entertainment. However, in the face of conclusive evidence, the loyal fans of the CP felt helpless. Not to mention, the haters who entered the scene later had very dirty mouths. At the same time, Eating Well for All 3 Meals was finally able to start broadcasting on time after experiencing the storm of a last-minute change in leadership. In the conference room of Muyao TV, it was rare for the executives to gather. Heartbeats started high and ended low. Even though several guests had their own traffic, it was still difficult to reverse the trend. The conversion rate for new viewers was very low. Hence, Muyao TV was now betting on Eating Well for All 3 Meals. Hello everyone, I'm Zhuyi. Zhuyi was over 40 years old, but his body was not fat at all. His muscles were taut, and it was obvious that he worked out regularly. With his wheat-colored skin and handsome facial features, when he smiled, he instantly pulled people back to the most glorious era of martial arts films. Hello, I'm Jiang Yun. Snuggling up to him intimately was his wife, Jiang Yun. Her voice was unique, clear, and very story-like. It immediately reminded people of her most popular songs from back then. Zhuyi raised his hand and brushed away the leaves in her hair. The couple looked at each other, and Zhuyi smiled in a simple and honest manner. Zhang Yun's eyes curved into crescents as well. The pop-up comments started flooding in. Ah, these two are my youth. This couple has taken good care of themselves. It's not an exaggeration to say that they look 10 to 20 years younger than ordinary people of the same age. Who would have thought that the iron-blooded tough man of the past would now be so silly? Goddess Jiang is even more beautiful than she was back then. She's clearly a woman nourished by love. The memory slaying had worked. Looking at the more than 4 million viewers in the upper right corner, the executives were extremely excited. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's not even the peak of traffic, yet there's such a figure. It's a success. I made the right bet. Someone suddenly asked. What about Two Under One Roof? The two programs had the same positioning and were both broadcasted all day during the weekend. Naturally, the data had to be compared. The staff immediately pulled up the data of Two Under One Roof, and the scene suddenly fell into a dead silence. It was also 9 o'clock in the morning, but the number of viewers for Two Under One Roof was as high as 6 million. The number of viewers was even higher than last night's peak. It was almost comparable to the amount of attention on the day of the premiere. Generally, variety shows were the most popular in the first episode and would slowly decline after that. This was also reflected in Heartbeat. But why was the data of Two Under One Roof so unscientific? And it was getting higher and higher. We've done some analysis on Two Under One Roof. The marketing manager was experienced and went straight to the point. First of all, last night's public opinion brought Two Under One Roof great popularity. Secondly, the injury incident that broke out today. While the netizens were angry, they were also curious about the show. Finally, now that the perpetrator and the victim are on the same show, this natural sense of anticipation is even more attractive than a carefully written script. I'm looking forward to the next development. You can think of it as a TV series. Now that it has reached its climax, it suddenly stopped. Who wouldn't want to continue watching it? Chapter 193. Everyone understood the logic, but they found it hard to accept the reality. The executives patiently watched for half an hour. Zhuyi and Jiang Yun performed well and had high popularity, so the number of viewers remained stable. However, what Muyao TV wanted wasn't stability. It was popularity. Compared to Two Under One Roof, the numbers were still barely satisfactory. Besides, Zhuyi and Jiang Yun had received a total of hundreds of millions of yuan in remuneration. After spending so much money, the executives immediately felt indignant that the show was not as popular as they had expected. Had they known earlier, they would have invited a few cheaper guests. Perhaps there would have been more viewers. Change the live stream to 2 Under One Roof. I want to see what's so attractive about this variety show. The director ordered in a deep voice. The deputy director sneered. If you had known this would happen, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. She was dressed in a black and white office dress, with exquisite makeup and a strong aura. She looked like a typical career woman. From the beginning, she had been opposed to the practice of plagiarizing the ideas of other shows. However, although she was capable, her connections were mediocre. Recently, she had been deeply involved in factional struggles and had lost most of her voice. Previously, when Li Jianyu was forced to leave, she was the first to try and salvage the situation. After being rejected, she even gave Li Jianyu a lot of pointers. She was happy that 2 Under One Roof was becoming more and more popular. That was because the market needed a healthy ecosystem and healthy competition. Unfortunately, now it had become an era where bad money drove out good money and profits were paramount. In the manor, the guests were divided into 2 groups. Yin Jiangxue learned how to make kimchi from Xiangyi, while Sheng Guang, Xiang Li, and Shi Sui went to pick fruits to make jam later. Don't use unboiled water and oil when making kimchi. You must use cold water. Xiangyi explained the steps of making kimchi in a gentle voice. She even wrote down a sticky note and stuck it in a conspicuous place. It served as a reminder and also to avoid missing anything. Yin Jiangxue fell in love with this young lady at first sight, probably because of fate. Before coming, she had read a lot of rumors about Xiangyi on the internet. She didn't believe them at first, but after seeing the real person, she was even more certain. Because she worked too hard in her early years, she fell ill. The doctor diagnosed that it would be difficult for her to get pregnant in this lifetime, and her ex-husband divorced her because of this. Fortunately, she met Sheng Guang. The 2 of them were very loving, but there were still netizens who made an issue out of her inability to have children. She didn't quite understand why someone would say such nasty words through the screen. Yin Jiangxue sighed. If I hadn't gone into filming and got married early, my daughter might have been as old as you, little Xiangyi. Xiangyi's eyelashes fluttered and her eyes were as clear as water. Teacher Yin, do you regret it? Many people have asked me this question and my answer is still no regrets. With that, Yin Jiangxue's eyes turned blank. But I'm not sure about the future. She was actually very afraid. She was afraid that one day in the future she would regret it. Who knows what will happen in the future? The only thing that never changes in this world is change itself. Yin Jiangxue pondered for a moment and said, makes sense. Logic is logic, but humans have never been purely rational creatures. Oh. Teacher Yin, may I ask if I can give you a hug? The girl's eyes were slightly curved. Bathed in the warm sunlight, they were bright and soft. Yin Jiangxue was stunned for a moment. Then she took the initiative to hug her. Perhaps all she needed was a gentle hug from the beginning. Chapter 194. The audience in front of the screen felt touched for some reason. It was another brief hug. However, they somehow felt a sense of healing. I don't know why, but I'm suddenly very touched. I'm crying. Mama Yin makes people empathize with her so easily. QAQ. Although I know I'm going to get scolded, I still want to say that Xiangyi did something wrong, but at this moment, I feel that she has a very high EQ and is also very warm. Yin Jiangxue hasn't had it easy all these years. She gave up her career and got married, but her ex-husband abused her because she couldn't have children. She's really strong to be able to courageously pursue her career and love again. However, no matter how strong a person was, there would always be a soft spot in their hearts. On the other hand, the 3 men soon picked a few baskets of fruits. Mr. Sheng, would you like to come fishing later? The fish in the pond here are quite plump, Shi Sui asked Sheng Guang in a gentle tone. Sheng Guang was quite interested in fishing. He nodded and said, sure, but do you have fishing rods? Yes, we have fishing rods, base station rods and lure rods, Xiang Li answered casually. In the past, Xiang Yi's grandfather would stay here for a short period of time. Xiang Yi loved fishing, so there was a complete set of fishing equipment at home. Sheng Guang thought that he had seen the place where the fishing rods were, so he didn't think much of it. Instead, he said eagerly, "Shall we compete later?" As he spoke, the bamboo basket in Xiang Li's right hand suddenly slipped out of his hand, and the peaches inside rolled onto the ground. His expression didn't change as he calmly switched to holding 2 bamboo baskets in his left hand. Shi Sui looked at Xiang Li's right hand, wanting to say something but hesitated. In the end, she didn't say anything and silently took one of the baskets from his hand. Xiang Li didn't seem to mind, and he was even in the mood to mock himself. "Fortunately, I'm left-handed." However, the netizens watching the live stream were extremely upset. "My heart aches for him. Xiang Yi's hand is more precious than a surgeon's. I'm crying because he can't hold the bamboo basket. It's obvious that he can't do experiments that require more precision. Xiang Yi, when are you going to apologize? Kneeling and kowtowing isn't enough to appease your anger. Why are you still pretending?" Muyao TV. The big screen in the conference room had a bullet screen function, and the angry comments of the netizens could be clearly seen. However, the number of viewers kept rising. While Eating Well for All 3 Meals was still stable at more than 4 million viewers, 2 Under One Roof had soared to more than 8 million viewers. Soon it would break through the 10 million mark. 10 million was a dividing line. Xingchen live streaming was famous for its statistics, and all the viewers were real. Compared to the current most popular live streamers, game streamers and so on, there was only one live streamer who broke the 10 million mark, and that was on the day of the annual shopping festival. No, we can't let them continue broadcasting like this. The higher-ups were anxious and had all kinds of suggestions. For example, arranging a script for Zhui Yi and Jiang Yuner, making them quarrel and even threaten to break up to attract attention. But it was quickly rejected. Not enough. Both of them didn't have enough traffic and popularity. How about I contact that hacker again? The head of the public relations department asked cautiously. His skills are good enough, but his fees are quite expensive. The deputy station head's tone was strong as he objected. Nonsense. We have to have a bottom line. If we resort to such despicable means, what's the difference between us and shameless people? Absolutely not. Contact him. The station head suddenly interrupted her. His eyes cold and cruel. You're tuning in to the Whispers of Romance YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.